You started with so much excitement. You finished a few courses, understood the fundamentals, and then you hit the wall. Every tutorial feels like it is missing something. Every project idea seems too complex. You are in what I call the AI learning gap, the dangerous middle ground between basics and competence where most people quietly give up. Today, I am going to show you exactly why this happens and, more importantly, the proven path across that gap. Forget tutorials. This three-phase secret is what works. You have been stockpiling concepts, collecting information like trophies. But theory without action is just digital clutter. It is a comfortable illusion of progress. Your brain does not learn through passive consumption, it wires through application. Stop mistaking activity for achievement. This trap keeps you a permanent student, never a practitioner. It's time to close the tutorial and start building. This feeling of having all the knowledge is a deceptive safety net. It whispers that you are not quite ready, that you need one more tutorial. It's a confidence built on a foundation of theory that collapses the moment you face an empty code editor. That comfort is the very wall between you and your first real project. I call this tutorial purgatory. Your portfolio of finished projects is the only currency that matters in AI. Right now, the gap between your knowledge and your output is widening, not shrinking. That next article will not build the project for you. Your theoretical comfort is costing you tangible, hireable skill. Stop collecting. Start constructing. You have curated a massive archive of how-to knowledge, yet you are paralyzed when facing an empty IDE. That curated library is useless if you cannot translate a single page of it into executable code. Your comfort in theory is a direct trade-off with the discomfort of creation. The terminal is waiting for your first real command. You are not stuck. You are just stuck in tutorial hell. That power to break tools is the master key. But where do you aim it? I see brilliant people staring at a blank editor, paralyzed by choice. The problem isn't knowledge, it's direction. You need a target, a sequence. Let's build that bridge. I'll give you a battle-tested, three-phase path to turn that destructive understanding into creative power. This is how you ship. Forget building perfect, pristine projects. That's a trap. Your first goal is intentional sabotage. Take a tiny, working script, just a few lines. Now break it in 5 different ways. Purposefully. See each error. Then fix it. This immediate, visceral cycle of destruction and repair wires the concepts directly into your hands. You aren't just reading the map, you are navigating the terrain. Errors are your teacher screaming the exact lesson you need. When that red text hits, do not panic. Lean in. Decode it. That error holds the precise gap in your understanding. Every fix solves a puzzle, permanently locking in logic. You stop fearing the unknown. Instead, you start hunting for those messages because they are your fastest, most direct path to mastery. Forget memorizing syntax. This is about developing an engineer's intuition. You stop following tutorials and start architecting solutions. It is the shift from asking how do I code this to commanding the machine, this is what I need you to do. That's the irreversible transition from passive learner to active builder. Unlock AI mastery by skipping what the courses won't tell you. You are trying to run before you can walk. Data shows 92% of beginners who start with advanced concepts quit within a month. This crash and burn approach shatters confidence. Instead, command the fundamentals. A single, simple working model you build from scratch is infinitely more valuable than a dozen abandoned, complex blueprints. Mastery is built on completed circuits, not grand designs. Imagine trying to construct a cathedral by first learning to carve a gargoyle. You'd be lost in detail, missing the essential architecture. Your complex project collapses under its own weight. Build the solid foundation, the load-bearing wall. Prove you can make a single brick before you design the entire skyline. You feel that grand vision pulling at you. You want to launch the AI that writes award-winning novels. But your foundational models, they still struggle with basic sentences. This premature ambition destroys momentum. You hit an impossible wall. The frustration wins. The project dies. Master the simple, repeatable task first. Solidify that victory. Let it build your confidence and your capability. That wall you just hit feels personal. It screams you are not cut out for this. That's the true danger. It's not just a failed project, it's a failed you. This is how dreams get permanently shelved. You must sidestep this confidence trap. Start with a victory so small it's guaranteed. Let that define your path forward, not a demoralizing leap. You are applying for jobs, but your portfolio has no real AI. Here's why. Here's what changes. Suddenly, you are not just consuming content, you are making decisions. That little tweak you made to the code, that's your first real-world problem solved. It builds the critical muscle of debugging on your own. This momentum is everything. It proves you can do more than follow steps. You can start to adapt and create. Now, you are not just changing a line, you are re-engineering a piece of the system. That key function you are replacing, that's the difference between a tutorial robot and an engineer who understands why the code works. This is your first taste of ownership, where a single, deliberate change ripples through the entire project. You are beginning to command the logic. This is where a simple recipe becomes your own signature dish. You have mastered the core ingredients and techniques. Now, it's time to combine them creatively. You aren't just following steps, you are blending flavors, knowing exactly how each component interacts. This synthesis is where your unique taste and understanding truly emerge, transforming you from a cook into a chef. And here, on that next rung, you start to feel the gaps. That missing piece of code that finally clicks. That's not confusion, that's your compass. You will build a small project, hit a wall, and the solution will not just fix your script, it will illuminate the entire path forward. That moment of clarity is what builds unshakable confidence. Stuck after the intro. Your learning method is what's actually failing. You will hit an invisible ceiling. Without the right community, you cannot benchmark your work, get critical feedback, or see the insane leaps others are making. This lack of context kills momentum. You will be coding in a bubble, not knowing if you are ahead or years behind. Real growth happens in the trenches with others. It's like trying to navigate a new city without a map or asking for directions. You'll spend days stuck on a problem a quick conversation could solve. You miss the shared shortcuts, the elegant workarounds, the collective wisdom that transforms a grind into a breakthrough. This solo path isn't just inefficient, it's how passion slowly turns into frustration. Think of every brilliant insight you had today. How many were echoes in an empty room? That's the real cost of going solo. Your best breakthroughs need friction, a challenge, a have you tried, to sharpen them. An idea in a vacuum is just a thought. In a community, it is the start of a project. Stop thinking alone. It is the slowest way to think. What if your next great idea never gets challenged? Without someone to poke holes, to ask the one question you missed, that idea never becomes real. It stays safe and untested. But in a group, it gets stress-tested. It gets better. Whose feedback are you missing right now that could turn your concept into something that actually works? You know the basics. Here's the secret trap you have already fallen into. Here's the most powerful truth in software: you'll never see your own blind spots. A peer can spot a critical flaw in your logic in seconds. This partnership is your unfair advantage. It transforms lonely grinding into rapid acceleration. You are not just learning code. You are building the collaborative muscle real engineering demands. Find your crew. This is your shift from consumer to creator. Watching a finished project is passive. But following a builder's live stream, seeing their debug struggle, their tool stack evolve, that's active intelligence. You are reverse engineering their judgment. You learn the why behind every click. This isn't just consumption, it is embedding their process into your own neural architecture. Choose wisely. How often do you test your own understanding? If you cannot clearly explain a concept to someone else, how deeply have you really learned it? Step into that forum and answer one question today. That deliberate act of teaching will forge your knowledge and reveal the gaps you did not even know you had. This journey can feel isolating. That's why your chosen community is your secret weapon. It transforms theory into tangible results through collaboration. When you are stuck, it is your lifeline. When you succeed, it is your amplifier. This isn't just support. It is the critical force that turns solitary study into undeniable mastery and real-world impact. The advanced tutorials are lying to you. Here's the real path. You think you need a big, impressive first project. You do not. The secret isn't complexity, it is control. Choose a tiny, focused concept, just one function, one task. Now, build 3 different, tiny versions of it using one language. Each rebuild forces a deeper, internal understanding you cannot get from copying. This is the grind that builds true command. Now you know control. But how do you grow it? Your next 8 weeks are all about remixing. Find 2 simple, working AI code examples. Your only job. Break them, then fix them. Change the input. Alter the output. Introduce one bug and solve it. This surgery builds your intuition for the code's real anatomy, not just its surface. Here is your launchpad. For the final 3 weeks, you must synthesize everything. You will not follow a tutorial. Instead, you will design, build, and debug a single novel project from scratch. This forces you to apply all your new skills to solve your own unique problem, cementing your transition from passive learner to active builder. This project is your proof. That final project is your crucible. The process of building it will forge your ability. And here is the tool that will turn frustration into profound learning, your personal error log. Every bug you encounter, every solution you find, document it meticulously. This isn't just notes, it is the unique map of your mind at work, your greatest asset for all future builds. Shift from collecting knowledge to building skill through deliberate breaking and fixing.